Well,
someone says, what are you doing? Oh, not much.
It takes excuses out of people's lives. Once again, it's just it takes a while. Like, people have been supporting me for a couple of years now, and they're only just, some of them are only just getting off the lounge, but they see that I continually do these things, so they're like, well, he's just paddled to Bondi, he's just ran around an island, he's skateboarded 4,000 kilometres across the United States.
Tell me about that then.
Maybe I should just get up and we'll go for a walk around the block. You know what I mean? And that's awesome. And that's what the whole thing is about,
What kind of skateboard?
It's a Gold Coast
In the worlds before Monkey, primal chaos reigned.
G'day, viewers. This podcast was brought to you by Coolangatta, the chill-out drink. Sit back, relax, crack a bottle of Karma Koala, which can be found in all Woolworths Metro stores. You really have to try it. Trust me. Actually, Damien Rider, who was in today and just told me his great and most amazing stories. We drank 2 of these, and I'm feeling the effects. It makes you chatty. It's a relaxation drink, but it really helps long conversation, and I'm so thankful that the lady sponsored me this drink. But hey, today's podcast will blow your mind. Damien Rider has done some amazing things in the last 2 years. You must see Heart of the Sea. It's on National Geographic, but you can buy it on iTunes. You can rent it on iTunes. But the Heart of the Sea documentary is the most amazing story of a guy who was raped and beaten pretty much most of his young life by a monster, and turned his life around to do the most amazing things. And in the most amazing circumstances. If I can just say this, imagine getting on a paddleboard alone, just a normal paddleboard, surf club paddleboard, just jumping in the water at Coolangatta and then paddling to Bondi. Through sharks, stomach ulcers, just getting all your food washed off the board, losing your water, sleeping on the beach, a lot of sharks. It's a really crazy thing, and all the while they go back to Adelaide and visit the horror places that he lived and had to endure with his brother. I got so teary, but teary in good ways through the film, like teary for this guy, and just so amazed that he came back in such a big way, and he's so fit. So another long intro. I'm sorry about that, but hey. Thanks for tuning in, and I really appreciate it. Please subscribe on all these channels and all that sort of stuff. Follow Damien Rider right now. He's doing a huge challenge as we speak, riding a rickshaw from Noosa. As we speak, from Noosa to Surfers Paradise. Then he's going to push a 4-wheel drive car from Surfers to Coolangatta. It's happening right now. So look him up. Anyway, he's going to tell us all about it right now. Are you there, Damien Rider? Ow! Yeah!
There for 8 hours and just punch with my left hand.
Damien Rider.
Oh, shit. Damien.
Record. Damien Ryder, how are you, mate?
Yeah,
good
g'day,
to see
buddy.
you, champion.
How you going?
Oh, can you believe it?
Good to see you again.
Again. How come your teeth are so white?
I don't know. I get that all the time. Must be these lights in here. Just, I don't know. They're always white.
You haven't had them whitened?
No, I don't get them whitened. They're just always white.
Really?
But I get that probably every day. Someone will comment on my teeth.
But you've got a coffee here.
Yeah, I know. I guess I just drink properly. People drink through their teeth, and I open my teeth up to let the liquid go past them.
I'm so jealous, man. Like, I've had my teeth whitened so many times, and I've never smoked in my life, apart from the old, but back in the day. But, yeah. You've got the widest teeth of all.
It's funny, like when I watch clips back and my film Heart of the Sea, I have a look and that's something I notice. I go, geez, how wide are my teeth? And everyone's like, yeah, we see that every day. I'm like, well, I don't look at my teeth like that every day, you know.
Yeah, we'll get to the Heart of the Sea, the most amazing documentary I've probably ever seen in a minute, man. But that shot where you say, I'm having the, 21 day, let's get in on now. 21 days, you left Coolangatta alone on a paddleboard and arrived at Bondi. So it was 17 days, I think, from memory.
17 days in the water, yeah.
And there was one shot, and it was pretty much all choppy and overcast, and you had all sorts of things. But there was one day, which I can imagine, because I love the water too, where you get out there, it's glassy, and it feels like you're a part of, like, the board just moves through the water. Like, you're just, like, sailing. And then here you are, you've got this, I guess it's the GoPro, and you're shining it back. There's a shot of the mountains in the back there.
Yeah.
Those teeth, mate, are just beaming.
Yeah,
look, I actually got teary. I really did get teary for you in that film 3 times. Crazy, crazy film. Had everything.
Yeah,
it's all life though, which breaks me up.
It's all real life, and that moment in the film and that moment on the paddle, was a pinnacle and just a really turning point in my life. Like the day before, I was nearly ready just to give up. All of my emotions and everything had just come forward and. I'd already been through a lot since then. That was day 5, and I'd already drowned 3 times. I'd been hit by sharks. I'd, absolutely gone through the worst times of my life. And to come out that morning feeling good for the first time, it's just like my head exploded overnight and popped everything out, and I just come up fresh in the morning and and paddled out. And I couldn't have picked a better day and conditions. It was overcast. It was, it wasn't cold. It was just real nice temperature, and it was just like an oil slick on the water all day. And it was just, you get those early morning surfs where it's just glassy, but for me it was like that the whole day. And, it's the only time I'd seen dolphins just cruising along with me as well. And, everything was there for me, and I was just paddling along. And the mountains I saw in the background, there's some of the beaches that probably handful of people in the world will ever see in their life, because there's no tracks or anything to get down there, and it's just pure white sands and these palm trees on the beach and everything. And it was just definitely a relaxing, memorable time for me for sure.
Mate, there's you just made me realise, like, it was one thing for me to see the film and Andrew Burse, right, great guy from JM Paddleboards, and you're on a JM Paddleboard, I'm sure you know him, right?
Yeah,
a Moose, great guy. Yeah. He told me you got to talk to Damien Rider, right? He did this thing. He got on a paddleboard, but I was expecting it was like, because I saw Jamie Mitchell's doco about the time he won the 10th Molokai, and there was they had a support boat, as they do. I was expecting that. So in your film, to see you alone, there wasn't even like a big hoo-ha of media or anything. You had a board and pretty much like less than a backpack worth of gear in front of you.
Yeah.
Oh my God, like there's this just bloke disappearing out to sea alone. And he's just doing it. That's the bit that made me just instantly go, wow, that's serious. Because you know what freaks me out sometimes? Because I go to Japan every year and I just get on a surfboard in the middle of the Tokyo Bay. There's no surf, right? But I just have to. Yeah. Just have to get the arms going, get in the water and wash the day away, yeah? Every time you put your hand in the water, I'm over there. I grabbed a rock once. Turned out there was a rock just under the water, but could have been a dead body. Could have been. Did you ever get your hands filled with anything? The ultimate fear of, because your hands are constantly in, and the next minute jellyfish head.
Yeah, look, it was like a plague of jellyfish when I was going through at one stage. Like the board wasn't going anywhere because the fin just kept hitting, and they were just I'm talking millions and millions of them, and the hands were just hitting the jellyfish and going through. But I guess the part that I was freaking out the most is when I'd see the sharks and know they're there and have to put my hands in the water to keep moving, because that's the only way the board's going to keep moving. And I was already paddling against the current, so I had to, just keep on paddling, or I'd just go backwards and just hang around like shark bait anyway. So, even on day 3, it was pretty stormy, and I got knocked off my board, and because I had a leg rope on the board, twisted up, and I was stuck underneath it and stuck underwater, getting dragged for about 400 metres underwater till I was out, like I was pretty much gone. And I remember my head hitting the reef on the inside and sort of popped me back up, and then I paddled back out, and then another one hit me straight away. It's another 2 metre wave hit me straight away, and the same thing happened again. And then same thing, I was underwater, pretty much unconscious, and then come up again right near shore, and then had to paddle straight back out. And as soon as I got back out there, 15-foot white come and smacked me board. And what he did, he knocked the rudder around, so I couldn't unleash it with my feet, so I was only going around in circles. So I actually had to get off the board and swim to the back of the board, knowing he was around.
Oh, my God.
And flick the fin around and climb back on it and keep on going, And I sort of laid there for a second, but it was just, I had to keep moving. There was swell coming in, and, I was on the reefs and everything. And there was no one on the beaches. I hadn't seen anyone on the beach for 7 hours.
Were you panicking, though? Like, man, I've never seen a shark. Like, I've seen one when I was fishing once, but for all the days I'm in the water, I still haven't seen one, and I'm touching wood as I speak.
Yeah.
Had you seen a shark before?
I'd seen sharks before, like being out surfing down in South Australia. I'd seen a couple of big fins, but none ever that close and being that vulnerable, There's always been other people around in the water, so you think, if something happens, at least someone
you could at least
come
yell out to your mates.
there's
come on.
You got a percentage,
Yeah.
All right, I've got 50-50 here, but there's two of us, at least.
Yeah.
But it's just me alone.
You're just bait.
Yeah, so it's just, and plus no one on the beaches, I was thinking, if something happens, well, that's it, I'm gone, and I had no EPIRB, I had no communication with anyone. It was just, message Facebook and do a post that I'm leaving here and I arrived here, and that was about as much as people knew where I was each day, and sometimes I was in the water for, 8 to 13 hours, depending on the conditions, just paddling by myself. So, like the first time one came, I pulled out the knife, and I don't know what this little knife was going to do. It was pretty much like a butter knife compared to a shark. But, I sort of sat there. But, after it happened a couple of times, I had 11 encounters, 22 sharks all up. I would just lay there and hope they'd go by and keep on going. The biggest one I saw was down near Hawk's Nest. That was about 22 foot long and about 10 foot wide. And I was, at that stage, I was just kind of like, just eat me. I've had enough.
Truly, right.
Like I was pretty drained by then. I'd had to carry my board over this headland because there was all this little white swimming around in the water where I had to go by, and then a wave hit me and nearly broke my neck, and I was underwater unconscious again from the board hitting me, and then climb back on and then see this thing, and I was like, I don't want to paddle around this reef. And then I was thinking, how am I moving closer to this reef? I'm not even paddling. I looked next to me and the shore wasn't moving. I was like, here we go. And this big black thing like a bus is just driving along the sand and went past me about 50 metres away. And he just kept on cruising, just checking his perimeters, and I just kept on paddling.
Insane. It's a good part of the film too. It's a good part of the film where it's just real life. Like, I don't even want to blow it. If anyone watches Heart of the Sea after watching this, there's this part where it's all in your eyes too, and you even go, there's one there. I watched that over and over and over again. Showed my kids in the morning. When you go, look, I can see the sharks over there, and I've got to walk over this hill, and then you go, there's one there. You're so fed up. And what else blew me away is, say you said it at the start, you just got on a paddleboard and went, I can do this. Did it for a couple of hours, and obviously you could feel the fitness involved in it. And was it how long from that day until you decided to do the challenge?
From starting, because I'd never paddleboarded before, so I had to learn a new sport. But for me, that was, that's what was exciting about it, and it was about breaking everything back down. Like, I did the paddle because I wanted to show people who go through what I went through as a kid, through my child abuse, and that anything's possible, and really just to prove it to myself as well. So it's just, I tried everything, like getting money, travelling, marriage, kids, everything to try and get rid of these demons that were clawing at my neck every day and just controlling everything I did and every emotion I had. And, every choice I was making, good and bad,